Hello, TradingView community. Welcome to my new analysis about gold today. And with gold, there happened some really important developments within the recent times that I am discussing today because there is a major wave development setting up within gold, and this will actually be a transformative force for the world gold price within the upcoming times. It will be a development never seen before within the gold history. And with gold, it has to be said that gold was a medium of exchange for several thousand years. It was a medium of storage, value storage for several thousands of years. And now many economies within the world are looking to implement gold as a legal tender. They are looking to implement a gold backed currency. And what this means for the world gold price is that even a full final 100% implementation within even a medium sized economy will have such a huge effect on the gold demand, on the market cap demand within the gold development, within the gold market development, that this will actually catapult the gold price overnight into really high levels and show up with a massive pump in the whole structure, even when it is implemented within a medium sized economy. And therefore, these are some really important developments for the gold price within the recent times. And therefore, it is no wonder that all the investors are looking to hedge against the war economy developments, against the major war affected changes within the financial markets. Investors are looking to hedge against recession, inflation, and economic uncertainties. Therefore, gold is being still a hedge like it has been 1,004 years ago. And when looking at the whole gold action price, actually, gold is now forming a highly important formational structure here, as it has shown up with this descending trend line here within this whole structure. And this descending trend line is actually a really, really important descending trend line within this whole structure, because this descending trend line is actually serving as a major support line within this whole structure. And now, as gold already bounced here several times, this means that once gold is setting up into this structure again and is moving into the structure again, there's a highly possible scenario likelihood that a major bounce from there on is likely to set up and move gold into a similar bounce as it has been already seen before here several times within the structure. And this will be a highly important and interesting development to watch out here. Gold has a major demand structure here within this whole development. It has several supports above which it is holding several times here, bouncing several times above these important supports, above the 1850 level, above the 1900 level. These are some major supports above which gold is now holding. And once gold is approaching these supports again, this will be a major development from where a bounce is highly likely by a 100% accuracy possibility. And when looking at this whole structure here, once gold has bounced within this whole descending channel formational support structure, this is actually a part of a much bigger formational structure which gold is forming here within this whole structure. This is actually a huge formational structure, because once gold has shown up with the breakout above the upper boundary of this major primary substantial descending wedge triangle formational structure, once gold has shown up with this breakout above the upper boundary, this will actually be the setup for further continuations into the major parts of this whole formational structure, into the upper parts of this whole formational structure. And in this case, gold is likely to reach out all of these upper target dimensions. And when gold actually holds within these upper target dimensions, this means that from there on, when gold holds here within this whole structure, it has a major ability to bounce into a new all-time high area and to continue with further developments into these structures. And therefore, these will be some really, really important developments to watch out here within the next times. Also, when looking at the global time frame perspective, as I already mentioned it within my previous analysis ideas, gold is still forming this huge broadening wedge continuation formation structure. And this broadening wedge continuation formation structure is actually a formational structure from where a major breakout is likely to emerge, especially as gold is holding above major historical levels here and is still building up since the war developments, since the war economic developments have shown upwards in the recent year, with investors hedging against recession, inflation, and economic tensions. This is a major hedge within the bull market, and this is why the volume is increasing more and more since the last year. And this is a major indication for a major breakout of this historical broadening wedge continuation information. And now, as gold is boiling up here above these important supports, here are all these supports levels above which gold is now boiling up to form a final breakout above the upper boundary into the all-time high area, and from where it is likely to continue further into these directions. And in this case, it has to be mentioned that gold is likely to set up a final target determination, a final target dimension. Once the breakout has shown up, this target dimension can be projected onto the breakout area. And in this case, gold will easily reach out to the 2650 level. And it has to be said again, once gold is implemented in the economy as a gold backed system, when the gold currency backed system is implemented in major parts of a economy, this is likely to boost the gold demand to such a level that it will likely show up with a major pump within a really short period of time. And in this case, when looking at this whole structure, once this whole pump shows up, when the gold backed currency system is finally set up, this will easily pump to a new all-time high direction. And in this case, it will be a transformative development for the whole gold market and also for other financial markets within the world economy. And therefore, these are some really important developments. And as I already mentioned it within my previous analysis ideas, there are also some stocks to consider within this whole dynamic, to consider with this whole gold dynamic. And when looking at this whole structure, this structure is likely to be completed within the next times. Therefore, this will be a highly important dynamic to watch out, especially once the breakout has set it up here and once a major volatility development will show up here. Especially, there are also other underlying factors that need to be considered within our data dashboard. We are analyzing them and looking at them within the gold price action chart. And there are also other underlying dynamics to consider. Firstly, the main US CPI development. When the US CPI development decreases further within the next times, this will also be a effect from where the gold price is likely to show up with further demand price actions in the next times. Secondly, the gold mining stock expenditures, when they rise within the next times, especially as a gold backed currency system is implemented, this will also have the same effect on gold within the next times. Thirdly, the major open interest, which is actually building up here since the war economy developments seen within the recent year, since the war economy developments have transformed the war open interest within the gold market into a hugely demandly increased open interest within the gold market. These are the three main factors to consider here, and this is why we also monitor these changes within the data dashboard and consider major developments, and we evaluate the situation when important changes have shown up within the market interface. And with this being said, it will be great when you support my project further with a like, follow, and comment. With this being said, bye bye.